Machines are a vital part of your job, but they are also the main cause of injuries on the floor. Crushed hands and arms, severed fingers, blindness, loss of employment, and future earnings. No, you don't need to be afraid to do your job, but you do need to understand the hazards and do everything possible to stay safe. The way to do this is always to stay focused on your job and properly use these things: machine guards. Practically every machine here has some sort of machine guarding. A shield or automatic shutoff, or even a laser curtain to protect you if a body part comes into a dangerous area. But still, workers are injured daily. Maybe a maintenance worker forgot to put the guard back on, or a worker on the shift before you took it off because he thought it was in his way, or your manager removed it because it's a little faster. Whatever the reason, don't operate the equipment without the guard in place. And it isn't worth it to OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA requires specific guards on specific machines for specific operations. OSHA regulations cannot protect you if you don't follow them. They cover woodworking machinery, abrasive wheel machinery, mills and calendars in the rubber and plastics industries, mechanical power presses, forging machines, and mechanical power transmission apparatus. No, we can't cover all that equipment in this program, but we will cover the basics. 1. Where the hazards usually are on most machines. 2. What the hazards are. 3. What guards and devices protect you from these hazards and how they work. 4. And what safe work practices are vital to your job every day. If you have any questions about the safety of a specific machine or process you use, ask your supervisor or company safety officer before starting the work. And review the equipment manufacturer's instructions. Don't ever make a call to your family to explain why you're in the hospital. How life will change for all of you from now on. Take any machine out here. Each one has at least one hazardous area you need to be careful around. And those areas are where you'll find safety guards or other devices. Typically, hazards occur at the point of operation, power transmission apparatus, and around other moving parts. The point of operation is what it sounds like, where the work itself is done on the material. This can be here, here, here. The power transmission apparatus is the area where machinery transmits energy to the part of the machine doing the work. This can be the pulleys, flywheels, belts, connecting rods, chains, or cranks. Other moving parts can include rotating or transverse motions, as well as feed mechanisms. This can include reciprocating, rotating, and transverse moving parts. The hazards you face at all these areas are many. One is called a pinch point. That's where two parts move together and at least one of them moves in a circle. This hazard exists with belt drives, chain drives, gear drives, and feed rolls. Keep your hands, clothing, and hair away from these areas. Another hazard is a wrap point. It's any exposed component that rotates, such as shafts or shafts' ends. Once a finger, thread, clothing, or hair is caught here, it begins to wrap. Pulling only causes the wrap to become tighter. Shear points come where the edges of two moving parts move across one another, or where a single sharp point moves with enough speed or force to cut soft material, or you. This can happen with rotary shredders and cutters, and augers and tubes, and chain and pedal conveyors. Keep your hands and feet away from these areas. Crush points are the points between two objects moving toward each other, or one object moving toward a stationary object. This hazard occurs when working under a raised heavy object, like a telescoping shaft, hood, or door, or in close quarters with heavy moving equipment. Never stand between two objects moving toward one another, and always use adequate blocking or lockout devices when working under equipment. Pull-in points are where objects are pulled into equipment, usually for some type of processing. Examples are rollers and grinders. Never try to hand-feed material into these machines, and always stop the equipment before trying to remove anything that has plugged the machine or has become wrapped around a shaft. Thrown objects include anything that can become airborne because of moving parts, such as chips, sparks, rocks, stones, and sticks. Always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, when working in these types of situations. There are almost as many types of safety guards and devices as there are machines, each designed for a specific job, but all with the same goal: to protect you. Just remember that safety guards and devices should never create new hazards. There should never be jagged edges or awkward extension pieces, nor should you ever have to reach over and around a point of operation to activate a safety device. First, let's look at safety guards. These are barriers which prevent access to danger areas. There are 4 types: fixed, interlocked, adjustable, and self-adjusting. Fixed guards are simple, durable, permanent parts of a machine. They don't depend on any moving or supplemental parts. They can be made of sheet metal, screen, bars, or plastic, anything strong enough to do the job. Interlocked guards connect to tripping mechanisms that cut off the power automatically when the guard is lifted or removed. They may use electrical, mechanical, or hydraulic systems, or any combination of these. These types of guards always require manual resetting to prevent the machine from automatically restarting, which could be very dangerous if you're not prepared. Adjustable guards are used to accommodate different stock sizes, and then they're adjusted accordingly. Self-adjusting guards take this flexibility a step further. Their openings are determined by the movement of stock. As stock moves into a danger area, the guard moves out of the way, allowing just enough room for the stock to pass through. Be extra careful with these types of guards, however. They sometimes decrease your visibility of the point of operation. Safety devices are systems which involve several parts which work together to protect you. They come in many different forms. One is an inline switch which prevents a machine from restarting automatically after a power failure, requiring you to manually reset the machine. Another type of device is a safety trip control. When contacted, this control deactivates the machine. Examples of safety trip controls are pressure-sensitive body bars and safety trip wire cables. The location of these controls on machines is crucial. For example, a pressure-sensitive body bar should be at waist, chest, or eye level. A bar placed too close to the floor or above your head reduces the chance of accidental contact and defeats the purpose of the guard. 2 other forms of safety control devices are the 2-hand control and the 2-hand trip system. The 2-hand control requires constant simultaneous pressure to activate the machine. This keeps both of your hands out of the danger zone and on the control buttons while the machine completes its cycle. The 2-hand trip operates the same way, but with this device you can take your hands off the controls after the machine has been activated. And the trips must be far enough from the point of operation to make it impossible for your hands to slip into the hazard zone before the first cycle is completed. There are also some safety devices which are used in combination with safety guards. One example is a presence sensing device or laser light curtain. This device creates a sensing field or area that deactivates the machine when any part of your body or a hand tool enters a danger area. Sensing devices are being adapted to older machines, making them much safer, such as the rubber and plastic injection molding machines, replacing the pressure-sensitive body bars, and the sweep devices on power presses. Another device and guard combination is a gate. A gate acts as a barrier to the entrance of a danger area and stops the machine cycle when not properly in place. With a gate raised, there's no way to activate the machine, and unplanned or uncontrolled startups can't occur. When the gate is pulled fully closed, the machine cycle is activated. And guards and devices can be shaped for specific machines. An example of this is a safety guard. It covers the spindle's end, nut, and flange projections. Generally, however, you need to remember one thing: properly use your machine's safeguards and do so every day. It should go without saying that you never disable, modify, or ignore machine safety guards and devices. Unfortunately, too many workers do these things, so we'll have to say it. Never disable, modify, or ignore machine guards and devices. Pay attention to safety and warning decals on your machines. Read them carefully and follow them completely. If you can't read a decal, or if you think one is missing from a piece of equipment, contact your supervisor or safety officer immediately. Make sure all guards, shields, and access doors are in place before turning on equipment. Always pay attention to what you're doing. Don't get distracted or too complacent because you've done a process so many times you think you could do it in your sleep. You can't. If you're doing maintenance or setup of machinery, make sure you've been properly trained before beginning. And always use the current lockout-tagout procedures prior to any repairs or servicing. Use the appropriate hand tools for placing and removing material instead of putting your hands in a hazard zone. These include pliers, tongs, magnets, and cup lifters. Don't use these tools instead of machine guards or devices. Use them as extra protection. Extra protection also includes PPE. Whenever there's the slightest chance of thrown objects, wear eye protection, such as goggles or a face shield. Make sure none of your clothing can be caught in a wrap point or pull-in point. Wear short-sleeved shirts, tuck in shirt tails, and avoid loose clothing and anything with drawstrings. And tie back and secure long, loose hair. Jewelry is another safety issue. Long pendants or necklaces, wristwatches, and rings can become entangled in machinery, so remove these items before starting work. Machine safety is a big priority in any facility, so know what the hazards are on your machines and where they're located. Know what guards and devices protect you from these hazards and what safe work practices are vital to your job. The best way to stay safe when working on any equipment is always be alert and focused, and to properly use the guards and devices on your machines. Remember what you've seen in this program, where hazards typically occur on machinery, how you can be injured by these hazardous areas, which safety guards and devices are best for your specific job, and how to use them properly, and how to work safely around machines. Don't ever try to explain to your family why you lost a hand.